You could spend a whole lifetime reading in the vast walls of tomes in this library. Or you could go to patreon.com/WSESCastProductions. For less than the cost of Washington's late fees, you could support our show. That's bonus content, early access, and exclusive episodes just for you. Knowledge even a spirit owl doesn't have. Again, that's patreon.com/WSESCastProductions. Podcast style. Learn it. So I know this episode's going to come out a little later than 2020 for the obvious reasons, but this quote I think still works. And I wrote a quote that I think sums up 2020 the best. Sometimes life is like a dark tunnel. You can't always see the light at the end, but if you keep moving, you'll come to a better place. Welcome to the After Credits Cast, the place at the end of that tunnel. I'm your host, AJ Vaseska. I'm joined by Ryan Metters.
In the secret tunnel!
Couldn't resist that one, could you? And Chaz Mockimer.
I couldn't. I really couldn't.
Hey! Again, we still stand genocide.
Oh, God. We're an episode or two away from that one now. I think the context might be lost on some people.
I don't care. Go back and listen. They'll know what it means. They'll know. I'm still bitter about it.
Sandbenders.
Yeah, never forgive.
If you want to follow us on various platforms of choice, you can go to Patreon. That pays the bills. We also have YouTube, Pippa, Apple Podcast, maybe Google Podcast. I'm not sure where our stuff went on that one. iHeartRadio, Stitcher, TuneIn, Podcast Addict. There's also Tumblr, Twitter, and Facebook if you want to message us directly about your thoughts on Chaz's Sandbender genocide. Ryan, where can they email us with those concerns?
They can email us at Actual Spiritual Education in an American Kids Show? What? Sorry, that's evacstation@gmail.com.
Indeed. As you expected, we are wrapping up Book 2 of The Last Airbender today with The Guru and The Crossroads of Destiny, both airing on December 1st of 2006 as a Crossroads of Destiny special. Written by Michael Dante DiMartino, Brian Konietzko, and Aaron Iez, and directed by Giancarlo Volpe and Michael Dante DiMartino. This is also the last episode of these two episodes. Is the Guru is the last one animated by DR Movie, and then JM Animation did the animation for Crossroads Destiny. No new voices, but these are the final appearances of Clancy Brown as Lon Fane, Phil Lamar as the Earth King, and sadly, Mako Iwamatsu as Uncle Iroh.
Just that, right. Man. Moment of silence for the boy.
Yeah, his replacement, not a bad man, but Mako's my boy.
Yeah, no, absolutely no shade on the actor who's hit him up next. It's really It's really sad that Mako didn't get to complete that journey with the character, especially like towards the end of season 3. Just god.
Yeah.
I'm getting ahead of myself. We got fun facts. We're not going to think about sad things right now. First up. The color of Aang's visions for each of his chakras mirror the colors traditionally associated with the corresponding chakras. Red for the first / lowest through purple. Coincidentally, this is the same order in which they are arranged in the visible spectrum. Roy G. Biv. Red having the lowest frequency through violet having the highest. The changing hand positions used by Aang while opening the chakras are actual positions used in real life, called the mudras, to open the chakras while meditating. Like actual bona fide spiritual education in this goddamn episode. I love it.
It's very impressive.
Yeah, even now, like 30 years old, I found myself like, oh shit, like all right, let's go through the chakras. It's opened by this and it's blocked by this. Think about it, Ryan. And I'm just like, I found myself actually kind of meditating through the episode and like going along with them on the journey. It's a really, really good episode for that reason.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next up, Zuko mentions his mother to someone for the first time in this series. Unlike a certain
Katara.
waterbender we know. I hate this passive-aggressive nonsense he made me read it. Baby girl's mom was killed in front. Nah, you know what? We gonna keep it fun. We gonna keep it fun. Nope. We're gonna keep it fun.
Katara has had the easiest life ever.
We have another
Mama
fun
got
fact.
dusted in front of her, but like at least her old man ain't burn her and permanently scar her face.
He's
God damn it, we've got another fun fact. We're gonna hold this argument until later on. When Aang, Sokka, and Toph return to the apartment, the damage Toph did to the house is still being repaired. So it's a nice little bit of continuity there. I like it when they pay attention to little things. And finally, the way Katara holds Aang after he is struck down by Azula's lightning greatly resembles La Pieta, a famous sculpture of the Virgin Mary holding Jesus after he's brought down from the crucifix. This also emphasizes how Aang's fatal injury by Azula and subsequent revival by Katara parallels the Christian story of the world's savior dying and being resurrected.
This is a deep episode.
This is a deep one. Yeah.
Very.
It's deep.
Speaking of deep, I've got a fairly meaty synopsis here, but since it's all one episode, I think it's very fair. Here we go. Aang is called to visit Guru Patik and learn to control the Avatar state. He goes through a rainbows of Katras, but stumbles on the one that requires him to embrace the vow of the Jedi. Just as Aang is about to reach enlightenment, a disturbance in the forest tells him to return to Katara. Sokka goes to fight alongside his dad, but is obviously called back when Aang arrives with bad news. Toph went to meet with her mom, but it was a trick by the two guys whose names you probably don't remember. Same here. They trap her in a metal box, which she learns to bend. She breaks out declaring proudly that she is the greatest earthbender alive, a title she has earned proudly, and traps them in said metal box to die a slow and miserable death. She also reunites with the gang on the way back to Ba Sing Se. Zuko and Iroh separated when Azula reveals her plan to overthrow the kingdom. Iroh seeks help out from the gang, while Zuko becomes cellmates with Katara. They bond over their dead moms and sexual tension. Fighting happens. Aang and Katara are handling Azula until Zuko decides to go full Judas. The Dai Li also make this cruel melee a little one-sided. So Aang decides to finish his training on the spot and go Super Saiyan. But he is shot through the heart, and he's too late. Iroh arrives to buy Katara some time for their escape, and is promptly arrested. The gang flies off from Ba Sing Se to the Fire Nation. Katara manages to phoenix down Aang, but things have certainly taken a turn for the worst.
I just realized as you were saying the synopsis, this is absolutely Empire Strikes Back.
It is 100%.
This is 100% Empire Strikes Back.
What?
Yeah, in Empire Strikes Back, Luke is training with Yoda and trying to go through all these various Jedi teachings, but he senses the danger that Leia and Han are in and abandons his training in the middle of it, can't fully go through everything, and goes to help stop what's going on, only to be struck down by Darth Vader and needing to be rescued at the end.
Okay, fair enough.
It's literally a one-for-one almost.
That's fair.
Which, to me, makes this episode so good just with that alone. Like, they parallel it really well, but with their own little unique spin to it.
Definitely.
I have a lot of questions. Let's start with the very first one. Okay, actually, let's back up. What do you guys think overall of this two-parter?
This was rough, man. This was good, but it's rough.
It is amazing. It is, I'm going to say it already, platinum, whatever. We'll talk about that later, but like, by far one of the best episodes, because I'm going to combine them as one episode.
That's what we're doing here, too, yep.
So it's by far one of the best episodes in the whole series, which, again, it is a season finale, so it is designed to be that way. But the way that it sets up a lot of the characters and the inner fight between Aang, the inner turmoil in Aang, the inner turmoil in Zuko, at least, then him and Katara are, kind of thinking about diddling each other a little bit, like, trying to get
so fucking mad. I'm just like, get your hands off her.
Trying to get jiggy in the salt mines, you know what I'm saying? But like, listen, I'm just saying, he would be better for her than Aang, in my opinion.
Fucking crystal mood lighting, get the fuck out of here. Nah.
Dude, listen, you know them crystals. Like it's like what's the crystal that makes him horny? You know what I'm saying? It's like, yes, these caves are mined with hornium. Can't you feel it, baby girl? Like, and he's talking to her about his mom, and he's like, yeah, my mom's like dead. You know, my dad burned me. Blah 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 blah. And she's like, yeah, my mom died too, but my life's been a lot better since then. Like, how do you compete? You can't. She complains too much. She played too much. But besides, like, and then you have the whole fight scene between Aang and Zuko and Katara and Azula, and then Iroh comes in and starts beating cheeks for like 30 seconds. Then he like calms down and is chilling out. But like the whole episode is just god tier. It's so good.
Oh yeah, it breaks out. Runs right out of the gate and does not stop. So I do have questions. Starting with Aang, what are your thoughts in regarding to the chakra process? And do you think his training went a little too smoothly?
I don't think it was too smoothly, because you have to remember that he was born an air nomad. In terms of spiritual practice and being able to like still himself, he's had not only does he have the background in it, but he's also had a lot of experience with the spiritual world at this point in his story. So him being able to really like take a deep reflection, a deep look at his self, and like actually work his way through all of that makes a lot of sense for me personally, especially as they explain what each chakra is, how he connects to it, and what might be blocking it for him. Like each one of those segments felt really, really authentic because they tied it back to his personal journey. So I don't think it went too easy at all, especially because he couldn't finish it.
Fair.
Yeah, I mean, like at the end of it, yes, he got the disturbance in the Force, but there was absolutely reluctance towards giving up all earthly connections and like being able to let go. Even though the way I understood it was that it wasn't that he had to literally distance himself from everything, but he has to accept the impermanence of everything. Mm-hmm. So it's not that he couldn't love Katara, but he has to understand that the beauty of this love is in its impermanence. That while they are here on this plane together, their time is short, and what they have in these fleeting moments is beautiful, and it needs to be cherished and treasured before letting it go.
Memento mori. No, you're right though, and it's the exact same thing that Anakin goes through in Star Wars. I'm not trying to make this reference a million times, but I mean this does borrow a lot from Star Wars, I think. And yeah, Anakin went through the same thing of being unable to let go of Padme, which led him to becoming obsessive and crazy, and ultimately becoming Darth Vader.
Force choking her and killing her.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue.
Yeah.
It's a little different because the Jedi were actively like, no fucking celibacy, dude. Get out of here. What do you mean a wife?
Yeah, no. I think the Code of Jedi really kind of screwed Anakin on that one hardcore. Yeah. But I think the underlying message of detachment and being willing to let go is supposed to be the same. I just think the Jedi took it too far, whereas in here, Aang just didn't understand it because, as we've said before many times, he is 12.
He's 12.
So this concept of impermanence is really difficult for people that young to understand, I imagine.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's kind of funny, like, to think about it this way, right? Like, the only reason the Jedi couldn't have any sexual relations or things like that is because they know Yoda would be out there slaying puss on the nightly. Like, that's the only reason. It's because Yoda would just be out there like, dick you need? Mm.
He's
And they'd
already
be like,
Dutch. I mean, come on, guys.
they're like, yeah, like, you start going to town. We don't even got to move. Like, they just drop trout right there, and he just starts going to town right there.
I need to write down that for the title of this episode. This Yoda slinging trout. Oh my god, this is great.
Dude, Yoda, you already know Yoda out here slaying. There's no way.
I don't want to forget that because that's too good a title. Anyway, but yeah, I know, and yeah, man, I don't know where to go with that one.
I threw everything off. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. Next question ties into the chakra thing, though. For you personally, what chakra do you feel you would struggle with most?
Ooh, what's the list?
Let me bring it up here because I actually have to look it up too. Okay, so the chakras are the Earth chakra. It deals with fear, deals with survival and blocked by fear. The Water chakra deals with pleasure, is blocked by guilt. The Fire chakra is willpower and is blocked by shame. The Air chakra is love and is blocked by grief. The Sound chakra is truth, it's blocked by lies. The Light chakra is insight and blocked by illusion. And the Thought chakra is pure cosmic energy and blocked by earthly attachments.
Ooh.
I think the sixth would be mine. I believe that's the Sound chakra.
Six. Hang on.
Is it six or is Sound or Light?
Sound is truth and lies, and light is insight and illusion.
Yeah, I'd say that would be mine because it's like not necessarily that we have a hard like that. I have a hard time of looking through the intentions of others, but rather kind of breaking through self-held beliefs about myself and just like anxieties and things like that is where I struggle with the most, and it's probably what holds me back the most. So that would be that's the one I would need the most work on, I think.
Oh man, that's hard. That's a big question. Dude, you should have sent this one out a little earlier, so that way I could have given you a better answer.
That's my
now
B.
I'm
That's
like
my
thinking.
B. Let me send you a link on the Facebook, and that way you have a bit of a reference there, because I didn't think about that off the top of my head. There's that.
Well, no, I have a link up right now. But
Still
that's exactly what I'm looking at.
Are you at a link, Ryan?
Yeah, put the link up because I still want it.
Okay. I'm looking at myself here.
Oh man.
I would maybe say, and I hate being this low on the list, but I feel like it might be the Water chakra that would stop me a little bit, because I do feel like I blame myself for a lot of things that aren't my fault, or blame myself for a lot of things that I shouldn't feel as guilty for, and I take a lot more than I probably should. But it's hard to get over that sometimes for me. I don't know.
I would probably say oh man, that's hard. This is so hard.
I do think like while Chaz is thinking on that, my only gripe with Guru Patik is if I have my understanding of attachment correct, he could have 100% just said that to me. Like he could have clarified it, and like and just like kind of got him to it. And I understand he needed to really kind of wrestle with it himself in order to like naturally come to that. But I still think he could have saved him like a season's worth of character development and be like, look, attachments are a thing, but all life is impermanent. Like the cycle of life and death is paramount, and all things that come will eventually pass away. It's perfectly fine to treasure them while they're here, but you have to accept that they won't be here forever. And you have to be okay with letting it go when its time is ended.
Dude,
it!
Dude, Guru Patik is the original Unazanas, hands down. No, I think you're right, and I think if he had just said, "Hey, listen, Aang, like, I get you're struggling to let go of your friends, but it's not about giving them up. It's about being able to understand that someday they will be gone. Someday you'll be gone. You have to be willing to accept that at some point. That's what this is all about. You're here to protect the world as long as you can, but at some point that ends and the cycle goes on." And I think if he had appealed to Aang's logic that way and his wisdom, he might have been able to get through to him a little easier. But yeah, I think that Aang needed to, as you said, needs to figure that out himself a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, like we said, he is 12. And all he heard when he got to the 7th chakra was, "Hey, you know that girl you've been liking all this time?
You know that girl you want to meet? Yeah.
Let that shit go." It's like, what do you mean?
I am a little frustrated, though, so I know we're jumping ahead to Legend of Korra a little bit. I'm frustrated that Korra gets Avatar state control pretty quickly without going through any of this. Like, I get that she's not a spiritual person by any means, but, like,
right.
she didn't go through any of this chakra process at all. And I'm like, okay, how does Aang, the spiritual one, struggle with this? But you, not spiritual in any way, don't even have to do this. Like, it's just there. It just clicks.
I think it's primarily because Aang showed up and was like, "Yo, look, let me give you the game. Hold on, let me just hit you with this." Because remember, like he literally comes over and restores her connection to her bending and everything. Like he spirit bends her from the grave. That's how boss my man Aang is.
I feel like that's a little too convenient, but at the same time, that was also when they didn't know they were going to get more than a season, so I'll accept it. I don't like it, but I'll accept it.
Plus, you also have to accept that Korra goes through a lot more shit.
Mm-hmm. No,
I argue she takes a lot more L's than Aang, man.
No, I know.
She had to go through some shit.
I wouldn't mind though seeing like a side story, like even as like a short miniseries or a comic of just her struggles with the chakra process, even if it's like just a little bit of like, hey, this is what Aang did when he was trained. We're gonna run you through the ropes real quick, just to make sure you're ready to roll.
Mm-hmm.
Chaz, you got your answer over there, buddy?
Dude, honestly, dropping these bombs on me like this, I swear. I'm probably gonna have to go with the oh god, frickin', it's between two of them. I would either say the air or the water, because like guilt and grief, right? Like I hold on to things.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of who I am as a person. I just will sit there and like hold it deep inside of me until I can either set aside some time to figure it out or actually, figure some stuff and things out. But it's just, so I would say anything that is like long lasting, like grief and things like that.
Fair play. I think we've all enlightened ourselves a little bit right there today. Moving on to...
I can't believe you dropped that on me like that.
I am sorry. But we do have some...
He's not going to let that go, you understand?
He'll be holding out of that grudge for a while.
Yeah, that's part of my problem. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you for bringing that up. I appreciate it.
Moving on to something a little more fun and lighthearted here. The Zutara ship is in full effect here. Thoughts, and do you think Zuko would have turned if Katara had managed to heal his scar?
Dude, heckin' bet, man. Zutara's the best. The best ship. Ship me. What do you mean, boo? Boo yourself, dog.
I'm more of a Taka ship myself, but...
Well, yeah, that should have been the case. I don't know why put Suki back in the thing. Like, miss me with that.
It's because Toph was 11. It's because Toph is 11 years old.
Well, also I don't think Sokka's man enough to take on Toph.
Yeah.
Give her some Toph love. You know what I'm saying?
She like Sokka 100% be the bottom on that one. It's
Yep.
just like,
You think so? You think Sokka's bottom boy?
Yeah.
I think
it,
I think any man's bottom with Toph.
With Toph, yes.
That's fair. That's fair.
Are you strong enough to match wills with the woman who fucking invented metal bending because she got pissed off enough? Like, you know what? Rip this shit down. Like, come on, guys.
You know what?
Absolutely
I'm
not.
done. I'm out. See ya.
This is like, these two guys got me fucked up, and then rips metal doors apart. And I'm like, yo, what? What's up, dog? I heard you was talking shit. Put him in the box. I'm like, come on, guys.
Put him in the box. Yeah.
But no, to your question, I get it. I understand the connection between the two characters. I understand that it's made even more palpable when Zuko is actually being vulnerable about his tragedy, and not only just with not with a random stranger, but with a person who has every reason to hate him and who he shouldn't tell anything about himself. But he's in this weird transitional period in his life where shit's changing inside of him, and he's being open and vulnerable for the first time. It's definitely a thing. Like, I see where it's going, but no. But nah.
But yes.
No, it's Aang and Katara forever, dog.
Nah, dude.
Give a fuck?
Aang, whack. Miss me with that, dude. It's 100%.
Yeah. Miss you with the Avatar. Miss you with one of the most talented young benders in the fucking world, in the history of the world. Yeah.
Hey, man. All right, listen. I gotta be honest with you. Zuko's edgy. I like my boys edgy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's bullshit.
I'm here for it.
Aang's been putting in that work day in, day out, and really building a connection with her, and she's feeling it too. And then this dude just
are you saying Aang's an incel? Are you saying Aang's an incel?
No, I'm not saying Aang is an incel. What I'm saying is that Aang has been there, has supported her growth, has seen her through a lot of shit, and you gonna tell me that the guy that's been a dickhead for the past 2 seasons, like, cried a single tear, and Katara's like, oh, my heart. Nah, fuck
Ryan, it's called high school.
100%, man. That's all I'm trying to say is that Aang maybe into that. Maybe he likes watching from the closet, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh my god.
All I'm saying.
Oh my god.
What? I'm not wrong.
Ain't getting cucked. That's so bad.
Dude, maybe he's really into it. Maybe he's super into, like, cuck porn.
Oh my god.
I mean,
man, what's the next question? Oh my god, I'm not even gonna think about Aang watching from a closet. Can we please?
It's not my favorite thing to think about, but like maybe he's super duper into it. I don't know.
I don't even know how to respond to that.
All right. Well, let me give you the second half of this question then, Aaron. I mean, do you think he would have actually turned if she healed his scar?
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say that the scar is superficial. He makes it seem like it's a bigger deal than it probably is. I think the scar is more of just a reminder, and I think if you had gotten rid of it, he still would have felt it deep below, even if you removed it. Because it's more emotional scarring than anything. And I think the actual scarring is more for the audience to see, to have a visual representation of just how damaged Zuko is as a person.
Yeah, it's like it's a symptom. It's not the
The actual
the
cause,
underlying
the problem.
like
Yeah.
roots of the. It's not the actual cause of the problem. Yeah, no, I feel. I see you get more into Zuko's storyline further down the question, so I'm gonna hold my peace because damn, that's good. I'm just gonna hold it. But yeah, I also think that the healing of the scar would have just been superficial. It would have been very nice, but with the rest of the stuff that he has to deal with in this episode, like that's all it would have been. It just would have been nice.
Man, can you imagine if she had used a spirit water on him and then Aang gets shot? It's like, oh, we're kind of fucked.
Oh, bruh.
We're kind of fucked.
Yeah, that would not have been great.
Oh, I'm pretty sure Katara would have tried to kill Zuko after that.
Oh yeah, it would not have been pretty.
I used the one thing that could have saved his life on you, and you betrayed us anyway. Fucking, you're dead. I'm killing him, straight up.
I'm killing him, straight for the jugular, boys. Going straight for the jugular.
Before we get too deep into the last moments of the show, I have to hit some fun moments real quick. Is the invention of metal bending a Deus Ex Machina, or do you think it was introduced and integrated well into the narrative, and why?
Dude, I freaking love it. What do you mean? It's the best part of the show.
Oh no, I'm not arguing that. I think it's great, but does it just seem like it's there for the plot, or do you think like they built up to it, introduced it in a good way?
I think there was always the idea to have an ultimate technique for every element. You introduced that concept with Azula being able to fucking throw lightning from her fingertips. And so, like the moment that happened, it's just like, okay, well, that's the ultimate technique of firebending. That must mean there are ultimate techniques for the others. Oh shit! So I think it was always. Well, they haven't figured it out, but they do get into it in Korra. I think it's
season 3 is pretty baller.
Yeah, like season 3 is bomb as hell. You gotta watch it just for season 3. But personally, I feel like they could have done something a little bit more flashy for the ultimate air technique. But It's still really cool. It is still very, very cool. But to get back to your question, I think they always had ultimate techniques planned, and the fact that Toph just made the ultimate technique is just bomb. So I don't think it was too
out of left field.
Yeah, but serendipitous. I don't think it was just like a quote unquote Deus Ex Machina. Like, yes, it worked for her, but I think it made sense because of how amazingly skilled Toph is.
Yeah, no one else could have done it to the degree she did, I don't think.
Yeah. I mean, remember, her first attempts, which were successful, are just through sheer force of will and strength. Like, we see what metal bending becomes in Korra, and right now it's just Toph getting so mad she can rip apart metal. It gets better. It gets better even through the course of this show. But, I mean, as of right now, it's very coarse, it's very crude, but god damn it, she can do it. She brute forced her way into an ultimate technique. So that makes a lot of sense to me.
And then, Chaz, anything you want to add before I throw in the follow-up question?
No, I think that it's a really... I think that it was something, like Ryan said, I'm pretty sure it was always intended on being in the show, because they do almost consistently show those two Jagawapis following them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, we're going to catch Toph, we're going to take her back to the Beifong family, So it's, I don't know, it's not that surprising. And I think it was done well,
Yeah. Just the visual alone is amazing, and I think when they were talking about it, when Guru Patik was talking and having it overlaying that with this animation of her just seeing the bits of Earth in the middle, it all worked really well. I think the delivery was pretty solid. That being said, What other sub-bending concepts, either from the show already or an original idea of your own, would you love to see a creation of?
Wait, run it back. What?
So kind of like metal bending or earth bending or even blood bending. What are some other sub bending or like alternate bending concepts you'd like to see more of? Either ones that already exist or ones that you thought of that have never been shown.
Magma bending. I know it's in Korra.
I was gonna say, Ryan, don't tell me.
I was about to be like, no comment, no comment. I wish you could have seen the look on my face. I was just like,
I know it's in Korra. I know.
I got
That's
a
what I
surprise
want.
for you, dog.
Season 3, man, it's all there.
I know. Oh, that's what I want, man.
Magma bending is dope. Magma bending is dope. What I would have liked to have seen, for air, although I'm not going to give away what air actually is for people who haven't seen the episode. But what air isn't, what I would have really appreciated would have been like the ability to become incorporeal.
That would have been pretty
to
sick.
Actually become wind.
To be fair, though, how overpowered would that have been?
That would have been real. That would have been real strong.
Like, if the dude that we're talking about had done that, like, none of the other people who are in that show would have been able to stop him. Like, holy shit, that would have been so dumb.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so at that point, if you become wind, though, like, you would probably be a little more susceptible to other air benders, like fighting, because at that point the only thing that could affect you would be wind. So it would have ended up being a battle of air bending at the end of it.
Okay. No, I get you. I could see it playing out. I'd have to like
that would be the balancing act. That would be the balancing act. Like, so against everybody else, oh, you're fucked. You're done. You can't catch the wind. What the fuck are you gonna do with it? But like, it would be other airbenders that would have to shut you down if that happened.
So for me personally, I love blood bending so much as a concept. I want to see the other bending elements do something to the human body similar to that. I just don't know what specifically you do. Like, I think earth bending in particular, they could bend bones probably. That would make the most sense to me because bones have minerals in them. Skeleton bending.
That's so gross.
Isn't that just being a necromancer with extra steps?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I do have to extract the skeleton. Wait, what? Oh my god! Just snatch a person's skull out of his head. Just snatch it.
It's like the bone snatcher from Futurama, the bone vampire from Futurama.
Or like that one bone ninja from Naruto.
Yeah, that dude was fucked up. I loved him, but that was rough.
That was pretty rough.
That dude is in immense pain at all times. Man, don't never let nobody tell you breaking a bone doesn't fucking hurt. Get out of here.
Like, I know the concept is gross, but just on the whole, I love the horror concept of blood bending. I think bone bending and other similar things from fire and air would be pretty sick. Like, just, so cool.
I had a friend that wanted to do like an Avatar role-playing game, and he wanted to be a blind swordsman that was a firebender, but like Toph, he would use his firebending to help see, and he would do that by he would essentially have infrared vision. He would be able to
that'd be so cool.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I could see that. I would love to see how that would play out.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, now you think
it was
about
a really cool concept. We didn't get to play it, but I was just like, that's a dope concept.
Now that I think about it, I'd like to see how other disabilities like deafness and all that stuff would play into the various bendings. But that's a whole other conversation that we will get into another time. But
that's a core conversation, y'all.
Actually, kind of, yeah. We'll wait till we get there at some point. Why do you think the Dai Li turned on Lon Fane, and did he ever have a chance of reclaiming his organization?
Oh, no chance in hell. What do you mean?
I'd say if it wasn't Azula, then maybe.
Nah, dude, my queen, dude. She.
Like hands down, once Azula showed up, that shit was hers, like straight up. I mean, if it was anybody else, I would say that Long Feng's leadership, his conniving, his scheming, and his ability to have the fact that he amassed all this power at this one point, and the fact that the only thing he couldn't account for was the fucking Avatar showing up. I think his men were like, yeah, no, we're gonna get him out of prison, no doubt. And then once the Avatar shows up, it'll be back to business as usual. If it had been anybody aside from Azula, that would have, he probably would have come back.
Yeah, I could see that.
He got out villained, man. He just got out villained.
It's fair to say she is probably the best villain in this series as well, barring maybe one guy in Korra. She is probably the best villain this whole series ever had.
Yeah. I mean, if Korra might have a couple of faults, but Korra's villain game got stepped the fuck up. So yeah, Azula's got some competition in the following season, in the following series. But for The Last Airbender, hands down, it's Azula.
Mm-hmm.
Azula's the best.
Speaking of Azula, would Azula's plan have worked or been successful if Team Avatar didn't split up? And what does this seem to say about the nature of their team and the balance of the world?
Chaz, you get him. You get him on this one.
Run it back again.
So, part one, would Azula's plan have been successful if Team Avatar hadn't split up? And then part two, what does this seem to say about the nature of Team Avatar and their relation to the balance of the world?
So I'm gonna be honest. Azula deserved to win.
Okay.
Right, in all cases, because she's queen. Right. That's my baby right there.
Okay.
Right. But no. So I don't think Azula ever was going to win. The biggest reason being is the fact that she's arrogant. Right.
Mm-hmm.
In everything, even in history, when you get arrogant, you get sloppy. When you get sloppy, you make mistakes. Right? And so she made mistakes. She wasn't taking into account certain factors, right? Like that they would split up, that they would cover more ground and actually be able to come together. Not necessarily come together, but each of them have their own separate role, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the conflict. So it is something that I do believe shows up in that conflict.
Okay.
Absolutely. But no, I don't think that she had any real chance of winning, because she refuses to admit that anybody else is better than her, right? And when you refuse to admit anybody's better than you, then you're not going to have a good time.
All right. Ryan, anything you'd like to add to that?
Well, I mean, I think in general, yeah, it's. I don't think the plan would have been as successful because somebody would have been able to catch on to what Azula was doing, and she might not have consolidated the powers so quickly. At that point, when she takes on, or when Katara figures out what's happening, or when it's revealed to Katara what's happening, she essentially, it's
things are already in motion.
Just her against Azula and all of the Dai Li, right? So I mean, I think it's possible that they would have figured it out a little quicker, but also they would have been all together to be able to stop a good portion of the Dai Li, at least. So yeah, I mean, it does seem to kind of drive home the fact that the gang is strongest when they're all working together, much like the world is stronger when it's all working together. And every time that it's out of balance, or it's separated, it's isolated, that's when things get bad real fast.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think that's a great little microcosm of that issue in these two episodes.
Well, and looking at it from a logistics standpoint too, had the whole gang still been there, they would have found out much sooner that Suki was not there with them. Because of Sokka alone would have figured that out.
Definitely.
True.
And then, of course, there's the fact that if you have all four of them... Is it four? Yeah, all four of them together, there's no way Azula could have fought all four of them. Even with Ty Lee and May, like, Toph in her... Well, I guess she wouldn't have had metal bending, but Toph's high-level earth bending, Aang's mastery of 3 elements, and Katara's mastery of water bending alone would have been more than enough to hold them back pretty easily, I think.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy boat.
And that's on top of the fact that Dai Li are still loyal to the Earth King at that point, and the fact that the military is still like... That would have been a hard fight for them to come out of, without question. So, yeah, I definitely feel like Azula's plan lucked out just on the grounds that Team Avatar split up just as she was showing up. Last 2 questions we got here. Why did Zuko betray Iroh, and is there anything Iroh could have done to prevent it?
On God pisses me off. Here we go, boys.
Man. Let's get it.
Zuko betrayed Iroh because he's a cuck. All right.
Wow.
No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Wait, no, hold up.
No.
He was the edgelord that
he is an edgelord.
What you mean?
He does cuck Aang. That's what I'm saying. He is the cuck. So he's cucking Iroh, right? Like, Iroh is watching from the closet while Zuko's just plowing Azula, you know what I'm saying?
Oh God.
Like, they're just... I'm sorry. That was a terrible thing to say.
It really
I'm
was.
really sorry. Okay, so backtracking to my actual...
Let's back up.
statement. No, Zuko betrays Iroh because of what Azula represents, which is his family, which is his home, which is his birthright, which is his honor, which is literally everything he has been building for his whole life, right? Like, it's not one of those things where it's a new thing to him. It's, how old is he, 16?
15 or 16,
So 16 years of everything. Yeah, of that is his life. Thing is, you also got to keep in mind at 16 years old, I mean, I'm sure that the thing that this guy wants more than anything, he's 16. He's like, I just want my dad.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he's been exiled for years at this point. And he's like, I just want my dad. Now, yeah, Iroh's a good surrogate father. And as somebody who does have a stepdad, right? Like, my father, when I was young, was not the nicest person in the world, right? Was kind of a terrible human being, and I didn't really enjoy spending time with him. It wasn't until I got older that I realized that at the time, my stepdad was the person I needed. He was my dad, right? Like, he was my dad, right? Like, he taught me everything. And then, you know, as I've gotten older, my father's matured and changed a lot as a person, so have I. And so, you know, I've been able to reconcile with him and been able to have that relationship with him. But even though I had a dad, right? Like, I had my dad, my stepdad, Mike, he was awesome. I had him for my whole childhood, still do. I still wanted my dad. Like, I wanted my father to be my dad. Right? And if somebody told me, hey, this is what you got to do that, dude, there's not, I mean, honestly, when I was a kid, especially when I was a small, like, younger, like 14, you know, anywhere from like 10 to like, I would say 18 years old, I would have been like, dude, sign me up. Like, where do I sign? You know, because it was, I mean, that's what I wanted. I wanted that relationship. So I fully understand why Zuko betrays Iroh. Because he feels like that's the only way that he can actually get his dad, which is then why he apologizes later, because he realizes, like, dude, you were my dad. You know, 100%, you were the guy that supported me. You were always there for me. You taught me what it was to be a man. You helped me grow up. You helped me grow up right, you know.
I can't wait to get to that episode. Oh, it's so good.
So, which is, you know, obviously we're skipping ahead there.
Yeah.
Dude, oh, freaking, I got the feels every time I watch that episode. I'm gonna be real, like, every time I watch the episode, it's like, get that couple tears, like, I get you, boy.
It's a bit of a gut punch.
Dude, it really is. So, is there anything Iroh could have done differently? No. not at all. You know, keeping in mind that he's 16 years old, he wants his dad, he wants his honor, he wants everything, and Iroh can't give him those things. Right? Like, if Iroh was like, yo, let's go fight Ozai, let's beat the Cheeks, put you as Fire Lord, awesome. Easy peasy. That would have been great, but that's not his role, and that's not who Iroh is. That wouldn't have helped Zuko anyway, so I honestly don't think there's anything he could have done other than forcibly remove Zuko from that situation.
Which
Right?
wouldn't
Like,
have
if he had
resulted
taken
in
him
the
out of that
best thing,
situation.
yeah.
No, it wouldn't have, and it would not have led to Zuko making that decision on his own, which is what needed to happen.
Yeah, I think Chaz has got it like 100%. Like I think like we talked about this last week, but you know, it's a terrible thing to be trying to do a new path and then have somebody essentially hand you or offer you everything you ever wanted from your other path. Like that's like the ultimate temptation.
It's the dark side right there.
You know, because you have Iroh talking about this path, and you don't really know about it. You're trying it. You're taking the first steps, and it's getting okay, but in the back of your mind, there's always the thing that you wanted and that could never have. And then Azula showed up and literally offered him everything he ever wanted. He said, look, help me fight the Avatar. You will come home with me right now in honor. It will be a grand return of the Fire Lord's son. The prince has returned after bringing home the Avatar from his 5-year-long quest. We'll get this shit done. And like Chaz said, you know, like it's everything that he's ever wanted throughout this whole time. So it's no fault of Iroh. Like Iroh literally couldn't have done anything. It's something that Zuko needed to learn himself. So while it's a failure in the immediate sense, it also sets him on the ultimate path to self-discovery, because once he gets everything he wants, that self-awareness is really going to start kicking him in the ass, and he's going to realize that everything he wanted in the past was wrong, and everything that Iroh was trying to show him was actually right.
I can't wait for season 3. There's so many good things to talk about when we get there.
Oh, it's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Dude.
This, like, I want to say, like, this is brilliant storytelling. Though, like, I love this as a whole, and I love all the other characters. The redemption of Zuko is the best single storyline in the show. Period.
Oh, absolutely.
In my
hands
opinion.
down.
Mm-hmm. I mean, probably like right after the whole like match of the Blind Bandit. I think that's number 1. But this is definitely like a very close thing.
The Boulder agrees with your assessment.
The Boulders feeling conflicted about fighting a little girl.
Dude, those wrestling stories are so good.
Boulder is no longer conflicted. The Boulder will bury you in a rock avalanche.
I might have to rewatch that one just for funsies. Last question for this episode, and then we'll move on. What would Book 3 be like if Aang had truly passed away, or we had lost the Avatar state permanently?
Man.
I don't.
That
I
would
mean,
be the end, man.
Yeah, that's basically it, because no one else. I mean, what it would have been cool is if Iroh fought Ozai. I mean, that's what would have had to happen. Or Zuko fights his dad, and
well, so we kind of see the latter because
then you'd miss out on the whole.
So we kind of see the latter of the two of those, where Aang doesn't have the Avatar state for pretty much the majority of season 3. So I think most of it would have been unchanged except for the finale, and I think that's the only way he wins against Ozai, right?
I think in terms of like combat ability, it's the only way he wins. But I think in combat ability, it's the only way he wins, and like it's largely through the Avatar state, or at least the power of the Avatar state, that he unlocks the ultimate Avatar ability. Really,
Yeah.
We'll save that for the end of season 3, but it's really through the Avatar state that he manages to actually access that power. So if the cycle is ended right there, dude, it's bad. It's bad news bears. I don't think they actually finish it at that point.
Yeah, book 3 would take on a very different tone. It already does if you think about it, but yeah, it would be much darker for sure. Yeah. So that is all the questions I have. Is there anything you guys like to add?
This is rough, man. This is like this season finale. The second season itself is the hardest to watch, but I would agree it's possibly the most important because of what it does in terms of moral complexity, in really filling in the world and really having complex 3-dimensional characters and motivations and like aspirations. Like it really unfurls in this season to show you just how much of the world is actually built out, and they really flex their narrative talents in this season. So it's hard to watch at a lot of points, but god damn it, I think it might be my favorite.
Really? You like this season more than you like season 3, huh?
I maybe like it's close. I think it's close.
I think
season 3 is amazing, but damn, what this season does is nuts.
You said something so controversial yet so brave. I'm proud of you, but I disagree with you.
I think I partially agree with Ryan, but only because I think I've gotten more exposure to season 2, so I'm just more internally familiar with it. Whereas season 3, I've only seen a couple times by comparison, because how they released that season was very janky, and they ran reruns. And they ran reruns of season 2 like a million times.
Dude, I have watched season 3. I watch season 3 once a month, at least.
Oh, really?
Oh, dude, I love season 3. Season 3 is by far the best season. In my opinion. That's obviously my opinion. But
Right.
Freaking love season 3. So good. It's got Sokka's master in it. It's got
absolutely no shade on season 3. Season 3 is fucking phenomenal. Like, you're never going to hear me say an unkind word about season 3. It's just what season 2 does for the story itself is oof, damn, chef's kiss. So good.
Man, would you hate to be one of those losers who only like season 1? What are they up to, really?
Like, did you watch the other seasons, though? They got so much better.
Yeah.
Season 1 was fun, but, I mean, season 2, season 3, come on, dog. Come on.
With that, if you want to email us your particular favorite season, or leave them on our social medias, Facebook, Tumblr, and Twitter, you can reach out to us. Ryan, what is the email they can reach out to us at?
That email is Empire was better than Return of the Jedi. I mean, that's evacstation@gmail.com.
A slightly less controversial take, but still some controversy, that's for sure.
Yeah.
This will rank the episode. I'm going to count it as one episode, 2-parter, just all together at one. From Platinum to Bronze and all the colors in between. I'm pretty sure I know where we land on this one, but we'll just go around the room. Chaz, I think you already said yours.
Already said it, baby boy. Platinum. The whole Zuko story, it makes it sing. Chef's kiss, as Ryan said. Beautiful. Aang getting a cap busted in him in the middle of a fight. That was great. Katara, missed me with that. She don't need to be here. This is my queen baby girl Azula being out here with looking dummy thick. Oh yeah, it's a platinum for sure.
I don't agree with all his reasoning, but yes, I also agree it's a platinum for me. Everything that it does, all the both the payoff for everything that's been set up this season and the setup for the final season. It does a lot of work in 2 episodes, and goddamn it, it does it well. So platinum for me.
Same for me as well. I know we're going around the room saying the same things, but like you said, Ryan, it's set up for a very fantastic finale. It outshines everything the finale for season 1 did. Like it steps up the game hardcore season later, which is great. You see the show's growth over a whole year, basically.
Absolutely.
It has some fantastic animations. It escalates the story and the stakes to a level that it needed to be elevated to. And I think most importantly, that everyone else forgot to mention, fucking metal bending was invented, and it's the greatest thing in the entire world.
Absolutely. Could you imagine how easy it would be to do frickin' bladesmithing if you could metal bend?
Oh, Jesus. Dude, my whole life would be so much easier if I could metal bend. Like, hands down, no question.
Putting up frickin' ductwork? Oh!
Just stop the ground, push up the thing. Nope, it's up there. We're good.
Oh, it'd be so nice. I would love that so much.
Mm-hmm. Metal bending and magneto powers basically they're top tier for me. They're up there. They're really good.
Pulling out a flame sensor, just snap your fingers, the thing comes right out to you. Ooh.
I'm still a proponent of super speed being my number 1 power overall, but if we're talking like any of these bending elements, metal bending hands down is worth having for sure.
True.
With that is the end of season 2 and the end of this episode. Tune in next week when we begin the march through season 3 as we make our way to the Day of Black Sun. That is right around the corner, guys. Just you wait. Until then, we will see you after the credits.
Bye.